So hello guys and good. What time is it? It's 11:50. So good evening. So yeah, welcome back to my channel. Thanks to all of you yang sebelum ni tengok my live stream on my beauty PC. So yeah, so for this video today we're going to see, or I'm going to explain briefly on what parts that I use and my main peripheral, which is the keyboard and mouse. And also we're gonna have a little bit of game benchmark yang aku selalu main, or most of the people will play, which is the big game CSGO, Rainbow Six Siege, and so on. And also we're gonna have a little bit of cinematic at the end of this video. So for today, we're going to talk. So before that, I'm going to thanks to all of you yang mana tengok or join my live. So yeah, it was a very long live stream, 3 hours on my PC building. So yeah, sebab I need to show. So I have a limited spaces, so it's quite. And then we have a little bit of problem, technical problem, and so on. So that's why 3 jam, quite penat. So for this video today, let's talk about my PC. So for the first one, for the CPU, we are using AMD Ryzen 3700X. This is third gen processor from AMD, which has 8 threads, 16 core. Oh, I mean terbalik, 8 core, 16 thread, with a max boost of 4.4 GHz and base boost of 3.6. Now, mostly what I play in my dah seminggu kan. So from my observation, the maximum we can go is 4.2, 4.3. We won't go 4.4 unless I overclock it. So maybe I will, but I have to change my case and also my cooler from the Wraith cooler to AIO. Tengoklah AIO, any AIO, and so on. So if you guys want to know the cooler looks like this. So yeah, it is better. So it does have RGB. You have to connect it to the motherboard. So it quite have a decent airflow. So roughly not so hot. Kalau in idle mode around 40, 45, 40 to 45, so it's not that hot. So if I do like any media project or browsing the webs, mostly kalau macam buat editing video semua, maybe spike up to 50, 52 like that only. So I've been measuring using MSI Afterburner, if you guys familiar with it. So next, we use the motherboard, which is the B550 ROG 6 minus NVMe lah. So it does have many features to it. It does have the dual heatsink, the power design, mainly by its first spec and so on. So it does have a total of 8 USB port behind, with one of them is the USB Type-C. So tak silap, 2 or 3, or 2 is USB 3.0 and 1 is USB 3.1 or 3.2, tak silap. So it's quite fast, that one. However, yeah, I don't use all of it, since all of my motherboard port belakang tak guna fully. So yeah, look at this. We have 2 stick only. We have all the heatsink atas tu. So ada 4 actually. Then we have the NVE, where I put my main storage and the other NVMe. So that one is 3.0. So the top NVMe storage is 4.0, PCIe 4.0, and also with the PCIe on the graphic card you saw before is 4.0. So another PCIe bawah tu akan jadi 3.0. So and also the NVMe storage M.2 bawah tu adalah 3.0. So it's not all fully 4.0. If you are planning to go all out 4.0 and also great overclocking features, you better go for X570 or X470. So yeah, in the back here you can see I just use my, just sikit je, tak banyak. We have the 2.5 GHz and all the audio jack port. And also not to mention I use my PCIe for the Wi-Fi, because this motherboard doesn't have Wi-Fi punya card on board. So you have to either use a dongle or PCIe punya Wi-Fi reader. So next, this is my RAM stick, 16GB, 3200 MHz, 2 kit 8GB. So yeah, quite fast, 3200. So if you do like gaming and so on, okay lah. But most importantly on how works are, especially on rendering and so on. It does help compared to my previous laptop, which is mostly laptop 266 megahertz 2666. Okay, so it's quite slow. It's very slow for DDR4. So 3200 for DDR4 is decent, which is recommended for all. 3600 is also a very good one. However, we don't use more than 4000 megahertz because that one is like you want to really overclock or you really need a high speed transfer rate or workload to do some stuff. So that's why you need higher fast memory. So next for the NVMe storage, I'm using the XX8 2000 Pro from XPG. So this is quite fast. It is for PCIe 2.0. However, not 0.40. Kalau 4.0, you have to buy another one. Maybe from Western Digital, for example, ada, and Samsung also ada, but that is quite expensive. So a decent like this also is already enough. 512 gig, which is for OS, is overkill actually. 240 gig is already enough, I think, for OS. But this type of NVMe, I usually use only for apa ni OS sahaja, and also maybe like my Premiere Pro, After Effects and so on. That's all. I don't use my game. My game is on my another one, which is the 2 TB Seagate Barracuda. I don't have the image sebab dia dah memang dalam sistem, dah dalam CPU. So yeah. Next, the most important one is the graphic cards. So the graphic card is 2060 RTX, of course. Orang kata barang keras sebab harga dia amat mahal. You can't really have all the barang-barang biasa. So yeah, the back, what important is the backplate. Backplate dia besi actually. It's not plastic like most common GPU. So it's quite heavy when I first open time live stream tu. So quite boleh lah tahan juga heavy. And then it does have, so and then with this purchase of my RTX 2060, it does have some free product macam XSplit and so on. I don't use that actually. I just want the physical GPU only. Okay, it does have RGB on the side of it. You will see in the end of this video, this related thing. So next, the peripheral, keyboard and mouse. So for keyboard, I'm using G512 Carbon, which is a linear key, Romaji linear for Logitech. So you can see, yang ni macam just blue, not so fancy. I don't use rainbows, but I just want to stick with my color, my logo color blue kan. So that's why I use blue and so on. So, but you can choose, you can change the color. So next is the G304, which is my mouse. From Logitech also, yeah. Some people call me Logitech sebab fanboy, sebab dulu I dah terbiasa dengan fanboy. And then you can change the DPI setting in the DPI tengah tu. And you can also change all of this color here in the setting. So let's see. So in the Logitech software, you need to download it once you purchase this. Macam kalau korang dah beli this motherboard, you can purchase, you can download the software, which is Logitech gaming software. So let me try to open it. So this is the Logitech gaming software. So for keyboard, this is the layout or the option available. This is where you can choose any key yang you nak function, and this is where you change the RGB. And you can change to make color. So I don't pick it because banyak sebab I nak stay dengan blue. So next is the mouse. So yeah, you can see you can change the DPI setting inside here from 4 atau 5. So the maximum is 5. Let me bagi ke zoom ni. So I only put 4, which is 400, 600, 800 and 1000. So the cycle goes from 4, 6, 8 and 10,000 lah, 100. So you can choose in the middle to tukar, which is here. So it's quite not that big because my hand is big. It's quite, sebab dia taklah sampai penuh sangat. I mean, if it's a bit longer and bigger, so I think it will be fit perfectly. So depends on your preference. Some people say go buy HyperX, go buy G, and buy. I mean, personally, I've been using Logitech since I was kids. since my brother is the one yang always recommend Logitech kata barang memang elok. So I've been using Logitech until right now. But it depends on you. Personally, tak kisah apa, HyperX ke Razer ke whatever yang memang, of course that all of that brand memang brand elok. So memang warranty memang tahan lama. So depends kalau nak jenis berat ke atau jenis ringan ke. This is quite light, not so heavy. I don't know how many grams, but yeah, quite boleh lah, not so heavy. Also the keyboard, but however the keyboard is a little bit heavy G512 because the keyboard punya body is, I think is aluminium or not aluminium, dia macam plastik yang keras. I don't know, maybe the hardware dalam dia keras kot, berat kot. So yeah, that's all for the, oh yeah, not to mention, if you guys been following me since dulu awal, this is my USB mouse. This is the Audio Technica 80, I think it's written somewhere, right? So the ATR 2500 25,000 USB. So the USB dia bukan yang mahal sangat. This is a budget, actually budget entry. So I just put in front of here. Senang I nak cakap. So yeah. So I've been using for a week now, and this PC really does perform well. And by that, let's look at the benchmark of the games that I play the most, or maybe you guys play also. Now for CSGO here, let's look at the frame that we get. So this is all on height setting. Ada yang I off actually, but mostly on all height, shadow and texture and so on. So we get constantly on the average tengok bawah yang kanan tu. So we get around 250 and 300 plus, so because CSGO is not so highly detailed, so that's why we constantly get that frame rate lah, FPS per second. So most of the game I try constantly the temperature is around 70 60 lah, not that high lah. So yeah, for this CSGO we have a very good, decent and very perfect FPS around 200 and 300. So now let's go to the next game. Now for Rainbow Six Siege, we do have the benchmark option in the graphic. So but first I'm going to change so kita check resolution. So full screen, so we're going to 75 Hz. I don't borderless, I want full screen better. So change it most to best setting. So let's go to the graphic. So first, you can see that is on the left top is the MSI afterburner yang gas semua tu. That's how I pantau lah. So next, so you can see here I choose all high setting, mostly high, and I don't change anymore sangat lah. And then sharpness semua I just set up biarkan. So there is another check sebab ada baca actually apa yang dia punya ni. Then you can see B benchmark there. So let's go for the benchmark. Now yeah, the frame rate is 400 because this is macam loading screen sajalah. So don't terkejut lah tiba-tiba, oh macam dia dapat gini 400. No, it's because loading screen kan. What do you expect? It's not that ni pun. So this is the benchmark for this game. So as you can see, we constantly getting 200 and 300 frames per second, which is a very best setting, especially on high setting with 2060. So the GPU we get around 70, 75 Celsius lah. So dia tak that high sangat. So our CPU also the same, around 65, 70. Dia naik spike ke situ sajalah, not that high. And as you can see, the core speed is 4200 MHz. So yeah. So as you can see, the drop, sometimes the frame drop because due to some certain explosion and stuff. They depend lah. So at least we get around more than 200 lah, not at least below that on the high setting in Rainbow Six Siege. So this game I don't play sangat. I also play with my friends, but I also try to learning, so it's quite hard. You have to this game punya ni agak payah sikit. So I will train more on this game. But yeah, as the result, on here you can see, yeah, we have an average of 253. So it's quite banyak compared to if you are using maybe very low end budget. So yeah, for this 250 CSGO 250 and 300, it's very decent. So this, as you can see, we all high setting in the quality and so on. So yeah, next let's go to the most game yang kawan selalu suka main, or me, Valorant. So for Valorant, same technique. I use the MSI burner to check overall. Same consistent temperature we get, 60 to 70. However, this is all in high setting also. In Valorant is a bit not there macam Rainbow lah. Dia around 150 to 200 frame per second. I think this may be due to the fact new texture pack, or maybe the way how they render the graphic is different in this game. But yeah, it's give a consistent 150 and 200 is already decent enough for me, because there is also dah macam lagi cepat lah compared to on my laptop usually 80 to 60 dapat. Yeah, so in this guy buying 2060 pun mostly dah okay lah kalau korang nak main game yang jenis macam biasa-biasa. Dota lagi lah, I think we be like 300 frame per second, sebab Dota pun tak that highly ni sangat dia apa render detail render sangat pun. So if you guys macam ala kenapa tak ada 60 mah, just it's okay. 2060 budget option pun budget is much better. So so this is only the 3 game yang I benchmark for right now, sebab I still don't download banyak lagi games, sebab kalau download pun tak main sangat. So that's why lah, tak lah, I don't plan to download and test benchmark sangat. So I don't benchmark macam apa tu, see the bench and so on, sebab yeah, we are just regular usage and also regular YouTube upload, so not that high. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and enjoy some okay cinematic for me on my PC. So thank you for watching guys. Goodbye and good night.